Hello friends, in today's tutorial we're going to learn how to crochet this sweater scarf. It's basically a scarf with sleeves on the short ends of your scarf, and you can use it to wrap. You can wrap it around your body with the V side facing the front or the back. You can also just wrap it around your neck as a skull scarf, and it's a fairly easy pattern whether you're a beginner or you're an advanced crochet. I really love this pixel stitch. It gives me a very beautiful ribbon. So let's just head over to the tutorial. For this tutorial, you'll need yarn. The yarn that I'm using is a lightweight yarn, Isian's Classic Decay, and it's 100 grams, 285 meters, and it recommends a 4 to 5 millimeter hook or needles. So the hook that I'm going to use is a US number 6 or a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. You'll also need a darning needle. To begin, I'm going to take a different color of yarn just to show you how to start, because I already did my main rectangle. So we're going to chain 302 if you're using a lightweight yarn and a 4 millimeter hook, or your foundation chain should measure at least 60 inches. So I'll just chain a few chains, show you the stitch pattern, and then I'll meet you after you're through with your chains. So I've just made 16 chains just to show you the stitch pattern. You can go ahead, chain 302 and then turn to row 1. So your foundation chain should be an even number. And now for row 1, you're going to skip the very first chain. Remember, the loop on your hook does not count as a stitch or a chain. So skip the first chain, and in this second chain, you want to turn your work and work on these back bumps. So these are the ones you're going to work on. So yarn over, pull through, and work a slip stitch. And you're going to yarn over and work a half double crochet in the next stitch, slip stitch in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, slip stitch in the next stitch, and you want to repeat this all the way until you reach the very end, or until you have only one chain remaining. I'm here at the end of my work and I have the very last chain stitch remaining. Then, because I've worked half double crochet in the second last stitch, you're going to go and instead of working a slip stitch, you'll work a single crochet in the last stitch. Then chain 1 and turn to row 2. So row 2 will be our repeat row all the way until you finish the main body part. So to start row 2, we're going to work only on the back loops only. So these are the ones that you're going to work in. Insert a hook in the back loop of that first stitch, work a slip stitch, then half double crochet in the back loop only of the next stitch, slip stitch, back loop only in the next stitch, half double crochet, back loop only in the next stitch, and repeat that all the way until you have the last stitch remaining. When you reach the very end of your row, you're going to work a single crochet in the last stitch, but instead of going through the back loop only, we're going to find the 2 loops and insert our hook through both loops and finish it with a single crochet. Then chain 1, turn our work, and repeat that row 2 pattern until you have a total of 66 rows, or your work measures 14 inches. So just to show you a repeat of that row 2, we're going to work only in the back loops only. So go in the back loop of the first stitch and work a slip stitch, yarn over, go in the back loop of the next stitch and work a half double crochet. Then in the next slip stitch, you're going to place a slip stitch in the back loop only, alternate half double crochet, back loop only, slip stitch, back loop only, and do that all the way to the end. Once you reach the very last stitch, you're going to go through both loops. So you want to locate the 2 loops of that very last stitch and work a single crochet, then chain 1 and turn. So you're going to repeat that repeat row until you have 66 rows, or the width of your work measures 14 inches if you're working a medium or a large size. If you want it to be a bit wider, you can add 1 inch. If you want it to be a bit smaller, you can remove 1 inch. So go ahead, do that, and then I'll meet you now when you're working the sleeves. So I went ahead, finished my 66 rows of 301 stitches. So the next row or the next step will be to fold this part and work the cuff. But I'm going to add the cuff first, then I'll fold it and then join the sleeves. To add the cuff, you're going to, on our very last stitch, just insert your hook, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn toward this side. You're going to work 1 single crochet in the very first stitch, and then the next stitch you're going to work a single crochet and repeat single crochet, working at the end of each row all the way until you reach the end. So remember, we had 66 rows, so you're going to work at the end of each row. So at the end of these single crochet stitches, you need to have 66 single crochets. So go ahead, finish that, and then I'll meet you in the next step. At the end of your row, you're going to chain the length of your elbow all the way to your cuff. You're going to measure that length and then chain it. Mine measures 11 and a half inches. So I'm going to chain 56, and then 56 will be the full length of my elbow to the cuff. So I'll chain 56. You can chain either from 56 to 60, and then we can continue from there. So go ahead, chain 56, or you can add 60 if you have longer arms. If you have a shorter arm, you can chain 50, but it should be from 50. I went ahead and chained 60 chains because we're going to use the slip stitches for the ribbing, and the slip stitches tend to reduce or to shrink the foundation chain. So I've chained 60, and from the very first row we're going to chain 1 just to turn our work. The chain 1 will not count as a stitch, so our stitch count will be 60 for the ribbing. Then turn your work and work in these back bumps. So I'm going to go in the back bump of the very second chain, pull through and work a slip stitch. Then continue placing 1 slip stitch all the way to the end of the row. After working in your chain stitches all the way to the base here, you're going to slip stitch in the very first stitch only for this first join, and then slip stitch in the second stitch, going through both loops of that single crochet stitch. Then you have to turn to work towards the cuff, and after you've turned your work, you're going to skip those 2 slip stitches we did at the base, and then go in the very first stitch of the sleeve. Working through the back loop only, you want to work a slip stitch, then slip stitch in the next stitch, back loop only. Make sure your slip stitches are not so tight to make it easy to work through them, and continue working the slip stitches all the way to the end of your row. When you reach the very last stitch here at the cuff, you're going to go through both loops. So look at the 2 loops and insert your hook and work a slip stitch. Then chain 1 and turn. For this third row, we're going to work slip stitch back loop only all the way to the end of the row. Just proceed working slip stitches back loop only, and then when you reach the very last stitch, we'll join it to the base single crochets. Again, you want to make sure that your slip stitches are not so tight. If you have tighter stitches, you can go and you can increase your hook size. So instead of working with a 4mm, you can work with a 4.5 or a 5mm hook. At the end of row 3, you want to go ahead and slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Remember, we've worked in the first 2 stitches, so you're going to go in the next 2 stitches. So go in that third stitch, slip stitch, go in the fourth stitch, slip stitch, then turn your work. Keep those 2 slip stitches at the base. We're going to skip the 2, and then on the very first stitch of our sleeve, we're going to work slip stitch through the back loop only. And then you want to make your slip stitches looser. Proceed working slip stitch back loop only all the way to the end. Then once you reach the end of round 4 or row 4, you're going to repeat the row 3 and row 4 pattern all the way until you finish your work. So I'll meet you at the very end of the work, and then we can work the other sleeve. I went ahead with my rows for the sleeves, and I'm here remaining in only 2 stitches here at the base row. So I'll just go ahead and slip stitch in those last 2 stitches. Then turn and work my very last row. So skip the slip stitches. Then on the very first stitch, you want to work a slip stitch in the back loop only. Then proceed placing slip stitches back loop only all the way to the end. Once you're through with that last row, you want to chain 1 and then pull your yarn almost double the size of the sleeve, because we're going to use the yarn to join the sleeve together while folded. So pull it to almost half of that and then cut your yarn. Because our last row is on the right side, you want to fold it also on the right side like this, and then join this seam working with the mattress stitch join. Then we'll also add few stitches, roughly 2 to 3 inches on the main body part. So pick your darning needle, and then you want to insert your yarn through it. So while you're on the right side of your work, you want to join the 2 sides by inserting the needle on the very last stitch of this opposite side, then insert it in the last stitch of the side with the yarn, then pull through. Now from here you want to insert your hook in that first stitch through to the second stitch. Go to the opposite side, insert it in the first stitch through to the second stitch. And then you have to go to the second, insert it, pull it through the third stitch. Insert it in the second, pull through to the third. Then go in the third, pull through to the fourth. And just do that all the way until you have some few stitches. Once you have 4 to 5 stitches, you want to pull the yarn to close those loops. Then you proceed with the same stitch. When you have few loops, you want to pull the yarn to close all those loops so that we have a seamless join. So that is what you're going to repeat all the way until you finish the sleeve, and then add a few more stitches for the main body. So I'll meet you when you're through here, and then we can add a few more here. Once I reach the end of the sleeve part, I'm going to go through a few stitches, roughly 10, just to add on the sleeve part. So just go through the whole stitch and put it through the next stitch. Do the same on this other side, go through the full stitch and pull it through the next. And do that for the next 10 or so stitches. After adding 2 more inches, you're going to go just insert your hook in the previous stitch of the opposite side, pull it to the back, and then you'll weave your ends inside your work. So once that is done, this is how your sleeve is going to look like. And now for the opposite side, you want to work on the right side. So the right side is the side that we finished our rows on, the 60th row on. So you want to turn it to the right side, and then single crochet, just attach your yarn at the start of your row and single crochet along the short side of the fabric. Should end with 66 single crochets, and then once you have the 66 single crochets, you're going to chain 60 for the sleeve and work slip stitches, then slip stitch on these base stitches, then turn and work the sleeve just as we did on this other sleeve all the way to the end. Once you reach the end, you're going to cut your yarn, leaving twice the length of that sleeve, and then fold it and join it. So do that, and then I'll meet you at the very end of your work. Once you're through with both sleeves, you're going to weave in your ends, and then you can style your sweater as desired. So this is how mine looks like. It fits a size medium stroke large, and I have the written pattern for those 3 other sizes: extra small and small. This is medium and large, and then extra large and 2 extra large. So if you want the written patterns, please go check my blog where I post the free pattern.